Doodle Stories, hello, how are you? Awesome, glad to hear you're doing great. Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks for joining. I was just about to send a quick message to Discord before we get started here. You know, I'm starting a little bit later than I wanted to. The internet isn't great today either. I did some FaceTiming with some students earlier today and it was not great. So if we get some lag on the stream, try to bear with me on it. Alright, so Discord. Okay, there we go. So we can get started here. My cat Yoda is going to be joining us because as soon as I start talking, she wants to come and see what's going on. Hey, 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 you know you're not supposed to do that. Alright, so what I wanted to do today is I want to take a look at some issues. Doodle Story says there was some DDoS attacks on some major internet providers last night this morning. Well, that might be it, yeah. So what I want to do here is I want to take a look at the state of the Godot Match 3 game right now, because I was a little lost last time when I was trying to do some stuff on, is that Monday, I think? So I kind of want to just take a little bit of time and go through. Anthropomorph, yeah, that totally would explain your Disney Plus leg as well. Were you watching Frozen 2 15 times in a row? Because that's all the world needs right now. Yes, lose all your streaming services while you're on lockdown. What will the children do? No, not Frozen 2? I haven't seen it yet. I know they dropped it early. I wanted to go through and see that. I really liked the first Frozen. I'm man enough to admit that. Alright, so, no, I don't want that script. I want the game menu scene. There it is. So, I just want to... R.I.P. I'm old school, I was watching the 90s movies. Those are great. The 90s Aladdin movies, fantastic. Alright, so I got our game menu here. I kind of want to just take a look and see where we're at. Okay, so we got music. Alright, so I have it resetting the level progression every time we play, so it's not going to remember it. So before I go any further, let me undo that. And I know where that is because I was working on Cecil's project earlier, trying to figure out what's going on. So if I go to my game data manager, yeah. So, okay, cool. So my level info equals load data. Alright, so I did fix that for this one. So I'm going to save that. Let's go back to where I was from the beginning. Cough? Oh man. You're going to get your digital germs all over everybody. Alright, so I just want to see where we're at here. 1,000 points, 6 thingies. Oh, okay. Alright, so I already broke stuff because of what I did last time. Okay, cool. Awesome. So it looks like I need to address this. To address it, all I really need to do is block that for now. And then also my game window, my grid script. I want no sinkers in my scene. You fixed the level reset on the website without me. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys did. I mean, unfortunately, I haven't been super reliable this school year. Well, that's interesting. What's that all about? But I took out the damage movable concrete check. That was weird. Stop. Yoda is... This is Yoda. She is the lovingest cat when she hears me talking. If I'm not talking, she doesn't want anything to do with me. But if I'm talking, she needs my attention right now. I must be talking to her. Alright, let's go back. Let's try this again really quickly. Alright, cool. So it's frozen. So that's a thing. But I'm not getting... I don't know where it's freezing at. This is from what I broke on Monday. So I'm just going to try to work my way back and just gut everything I did on Monday's stream. And then that way I can... What are you doing, crazy cat? Stop that. You're not a dog. Don't chew on things like that. Stop. Crazy cat, stop. Alright. My office doesn't have a door. Otherwise I would lock her out. Alright, so back to what I was doing. So we've got our destroy matched. We want to check to destroy special. Check concrete. Check slime, damage special. Match color. Clear board, collapse columns, destroy sinkers. I wonder if I coded these sinkers poorly. Do I have to have my max sinkers to 0? And then also get rid of my movable concrete reference that I started doing last week. So, or not last week, Monday. So I'm going to get rid of this. There was Godot stuff on the Monday stream, but I'm going to rip out everything I did on that stream, so you do not have to watch it. No. Okay, so what I did was I was trying to make it work like the sinker and have it choose between having a sinker or a licorice piece. And Casey told me that's not what he wanted. Talked a little bit more about what he did want. And then I looked up the licorice world myself to actually see if I still have it broken. Okay, cool, not broken anymore. Or at least not that part of it isn't broken anymore. Alright, and this one I have to get 1,000 points to move on, don't I? Alright. Cool. I thought I had it displaying the... score, didn't I? Domi says, "Hey man, I'm in the middle of development of a system that turned the mobile phone into a controller to play local multiplayer games created in Godot." That's awesome. Good for you, man. Alright, so let's try out level 2 here. Okay, and then... Oh, no, I don't know what I'm seeing there. Okay, so you win. Okay, level 3 didn't open up, that's weird. But let's check to see if... Thanks very much for stopping by, Dummy. I appreciate it. Oh, I didn't want to start this again, I wanted to start the menu. Okay, so it didn't actually remember anything. Okay, chat. Did I have the top score display on that endgame thing? Am I using a bad version of this? Because I fixed that, didn't I? I swear I fixed that. Okay, well... Okay, thank you, Anthro. Okay, so there's a few different things we needed to go through anyway here. First, I know some of you have already figured out how to export it to your phones just fine, because there's tutorials specifically for that. But we haven't gone over it in this tutorial here. So if you want to export it for your phone, currently I'm using Godot 3.2 because that recently came out. And you're going to need to go to godotengine.org and then go to the download tab. And in the download tab, you want to go to the download repository and then find whichever version you're using. At the moment, I'm using 3.2.1, which means I need to download the stable export templates for it. It's kind of a large file, so that's going to take a minute. I also just want to make sure, because I think I actually might still be using the beta of 3.2.1. I want to make sure I have the most recent version. But anyway, so if you want to export to any platform, PC, Mac, or more importantly, phone, you need to have these templates, and you need to make sure that they match whichever version of the engine you're using. Also, if I want to export to Android, I need to have access to what's called Android Studio, which allows you to get access to an Android development kit, and then Java for Windows or for Mac, so that you can have access to the Java development kit. You need access to both of those in order to export for phone. And I think I actually have the USB-C cable here somewhere, so I can live check it on my own phone. I won't be able to show you it's working on my phone, but I can check it live on my phone to see if it's working the way I expect it to. Okay, well, I don't need to worry about that just now. And I just downloaded the newest version of Java. So I might need to like find where it is, but that should be good. And then the other thing that we want to make sure that we do is download the Cloder Games Godot AdMob. So I'm going to download that as a zip as well. Alright, so Godot 3.2.1. I'm actually going to save all of this, and I want to see if I'm using the wrong one. Because if I am, that's going to make a few things. Okay, cool. Thank you, Anthro. So that means I'm using the wrong version, which actually fixes some things, so that's good. And I was using 3.2.1. I wasn't using a beta. Alright, so in my documents, this is what I get for like going away and not being here for a while. Okay, so I've got Match 3, Game Maker Studio Match 3, Godot 2048. Oh man, I need to go back to that project. Godot Match 3, Godot Bound, Godot Engine Tutorial Demos, Match 3. I think I want this one. And then the one that was modified last is Game Manager Win-Lose 3/18/2020, which is today. So clearly that's not the right one. Let's check out this one. Okay. This is how professional I am. I don't even know which one I'm supposed to be using. I'm the most professional of all professionals. Okay, cool. That's better. Cool. So now, Anthro says, back in a moment, don't do anything important, I've got a few feeling. That's fine. I won't do anything important. All I'm going to do right now is fix an issue that you already fixed. So let's go to script. Game data manager, and I don't want to reset the level info every time. And let's save that, and let's make sure it's going to work the way I want it to. So in the scenes, I want to go to my game menu scene, and let's try this out. Coding with Unity says hello. Hi there, how are you? Okay, so now level 1 and level 2 are both open. To make sure they're still going to be open. So I'm not saving that correctly then. So then here, in my game manager, so let's see, create goals, check game win, game 1 equals true. Level info, level plus 1 equals unlock true. So let's have this print game data manager dot level info. Let's just have it print the dictionary so I can check that then. Let's get back to our game menu. Okay, and okay, so it's saved. Yeah. So oh, but it doesn't know. So it knows that level 2 should be unlocked. Did it not? Did it maybe not save? So then data manager dot save data. I bet that's the issue. If you're just joining, I'm just messing around with the Godot Match 3 tutorial right now. I'm just figuring out what's wrong and what I need to fix. So feel free to ask any questions. Yesterday I was messing around with Unity, so I mean you can ask questions about Unity, but I'm probably going to keep my stream to focus mainly on Godot today. But feel free to ask anything you need. Okay, so now it's unlocked. Continue. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. That's good. So that's fixed. Something I didn't even realize was broken. That totally shouldn't have been broken, but it's fixed anyway. Does the booster work? Okay, that specific booster works. That's good. Coding with Unity asks, what language does Godot use? Is it custom? Yeah, it uses a language called GD script. It's very, very similar to Python 3, but it is different. Python 3 handles arrays differently than GD script does, but I've found that if I don't know how to do something, if I make my best Pythonic, if that's a word, guess, I'm almost always right. So I think GD script is supposed to be a non-compilable offshoot of C++, because you can get it to run in C++ as well. You can also get a mono version though too, so you can get a C# version, and you can get an extension for Atom or VS Code where you can edit it in VS Code. I think it's a lot of fun to play with. The structure that Godot has is based around these things called nodes, and each node can only have one script, which I think is really good. I especially use it for teaching because it helps students learn how to have this object-oriented mindset. So yeah, I really like Godot. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, so let's do some design here. I want to kind of outline what KC wanted. So let's go to docs, and I'm going to make a new blank document, and we're going to call this design ideas, Godot Match 3. So what Casey in the Discord wanted was a licorice whirl piece. And I'm not super familiar with Candy Crush. I don't think I ever got far enough to get the licorice swirls. So let's take a look at the exact definition of what these are, and then we can break down. I don't want you playing. Stop playing.
Relief from.
Good lord. All right. No, I don't want you to go smaller. Go away. Oh my gosh. Anyway. Okay, so they appear in level 80. Seriously, this is really distracting me. I have, like, the worst ADD. Okay. So it's possible to get licorice swirled inside blocks. I just want to know how they work. It's one of the only blockers that can actually be clicked on and switched with candies. So you can switch it with candies. Can switch with candies. If a striped... Wait, no. Getting 3 licorice swirl does not get rid of it, unlike candies. So... does not match with 3. Oh, Anthro, sorry, I just now saw your comment. It's an obstacle with health that can be swapped like your sinkers. Okay. And cannot be combined with the color bomb. Does not work with color bomb. The most strange and quite possibly one of the most annoying properties is that they are resistant to special candies and weakens their combinations, especially striped candies. If a striped candy hits a licorice swirl, it will get rid of the blocker, but it won't get rid of any other candies beyond it. This can become a serious problem in later levels involving jelly ingredients. If you make a move, which removes at least 1 licorice swirl immediately, it's less likely to respond in the following cascades. So these respawn. Casey had led me to believe... Hello, Tala, how are you? Casey had led me to believe that these start placed in the level. Okay, so they also fall. Do not destroy at the bottom of the board. Okay, so yeah, the reason I'm writing this, so Anthro asks, can the fall in thing be turn on turn offable? I don't want them falling in my... Yeah, we can certainly work on that. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to know, I don't want to make a new custom object, I want to inherit from something, since most of these are properties we already have in the game. So rather than making something whole cloth, I can just use some inheritance tricks to bring some of this with it, which is why I'm trying to understand like exactly what properties I want to have, because the properties I want to have is going to influence which inheritance I want to rely on, if that makes any sense. So, and then we'll call this blocks row falls matched. Okay, so can switch with candies, which means that they need to be able to have movement. So the reason it needs to have movement is the concrete and the ice pieces and the licorice blocks. None of those have movement, so they don't have that move method on them. They don't have the tween. They don't have any of that. So this is going to definitely need to have a tween. So needs to have move method and between node. Does not match with 3. So, like, ideally we'd use a piece scene. That means that we need to carve out a special niche. So we're going to need to make an exception to the piece logic to not match 3 of these. That blocking things is super annoying. Do you mean the blocking the row column bombs is super annoying, Anthro? Does not work with color bomb, so we need to make an exception to the logic to accept this. I guess I can just say exception, since exception means accept. Yeah, I don't want to do it because I think that sounds super annoying too. Okay, so falls when matched. This is going to be part of the with needs to have move method in between. But maybe turn off if annoying. So if it doesn't have the move method then, or if it doesn't fall, can you create, Anthro says, can you create a setting called like unmatchable that we could then apply to things like, I don't know, seekers and other obstacles? That's a good idea. So let's add that as an idea. Maybe make a setting called unmatchable. Apply to sinkers and other pieces / bombs. The Cater says, I love you. You don't even know me, but thank you. Alexi, I'm assuming you're Casey. Alright, it's not work with color bomb. Okay. Let's see, do not destroy at the bottom of the board. So that means that they need to, so shouldn't, from sinkers then, it shouldn't have the same color as the sinker pieces, so as not to be destroyed when they are. Okay, so Casey and Anthro and I are we're all in agreement. We don't want it to block special pieces. Good to know. I'm just gonna leave this at boo, and then I'll do the strikeout. I always forget the shortcut for strikeout. There. Skip the doesn't bomb option. Alright, cool. So, alright, so since we want to do a Licorice World piece, since we know it needs to move around the board, we're going to probably want to use the piece as our main thing that we're inheriting from, because it needs to have this move method and tween node. But since it doesn't match with 3, we're going to have to do something about the color option on that piece, and then we'll also, it's a good idea that Anthro had to make a setting called unmatchable, just a Boolean value that we can set to be true or false, so that way it doesn't try to match anything. But that means that we also need to I'm very curious what your message was. Decatur, I was just playing around. I really appreciate you following my content. That's awesome. I was just playing around. I'm sorry. Okay, so we also need to have this in the logic when destroying pieces to make sure these are skipped. But then, so here's the other issue, is they need to have health. And if they have health, then That means that we want to keep their matched options. Yeah. So if they need to have health, we need to... So this is what I was running into on Monday when I was trying to look at this. If it has health, but we destroy the pieces with the whether or not it's matched, and the row and column bombs, as they are right now, they just match everything in the row. So we do need to do some stuff with the row and column bombs. Because, like, what if you wanted to have 2 health? Then a row and column bomb shouldn't destroy it right away, right? So we need to have column/row bombs. We need to have logic to give damage if piece in the row or the column is a licorice whirl instead of turning on matched. Right, I agree with you, Anthro, that the pieces should have 1 health in general, but one of the things about Candy Crush is, like, in those later levels, you have pieces that'll have like 4 or 5 health, which is crazy. It's okay, Casey. I'll archive this and you can watch whenever you want to. Alright, so anyway. Okay, so it has health, so we need to have, like... So we want to extend from piece to add health, but make sure if it's... it has health, question mark. So that's an issue too, because the sinkers right now are extended from piece, and they would be something that we'd want to have unmatchable. But for making them unmatchable, so as not to interfere with the column row bomb logic, for giving them health, then everything has to have health, and then the sinkers have health, which is, I can see that being really frustrating. So, alright, let's try to start building this. So first thing I want to do is make a new inherited scene, and I'm going to inherit from generic piece, and I'm going to call this, I'm just going to call it licorice swirl. I don't want the exact piece script, so I'm going to clear it. I'm going to add a new script that is going to inherit from the piece script. So there's the piece script. So we're going to take everything from the piece script, but we're going to add some more to it. Aw, thank you, the cater. I appreciate that. Alright, so let's create this, and before we go too far, let's save this scene. And let's also save this script. Wait, did I already save the script? No, I didn't save the script. But is this... yeah, this is licorice-roll.gd. So... Serial chiller. Okay, hey, I'm new to your channel. Keep up the good work. Anthropomorph says make unique. So the make unique... So if I... oh yeah. What does the make unique do? You actually probably know more than I do about that. What does the make unique do? But why do that instead of making an inherited script? Or does make unique just... no, it wouldn't do that. Huh. Oh, okay. So make unique just does that. Okay. Well, I guess, yeah. So we'll call this Licorice Swirl. I had no idea that was a thing. Anthropomorph says, by doing this, you get the inherited script as a template, but you can alter it. I didn't realize that, like, I've always just had my kids clear it and then make a new one that extends the old one. It's really weird. Or not weird, but it's cool to know. Okay, so I want to have my piece script open here too, just so I can look at what's going to go on here. So I'm going to call this var is matchable. That defaults to true. And then, holy cow, there's a lot of old code in here. Wow. From when I was still doing semicolons on every line. That's nuts. This code is like 2 years old now. It's almost old enough to go to preschool. Okay, so I only want to do this dimming if it's matchable. So if is matchable. And then, I really want to start messing around with some stuff that I shouldn't be messing around with. So I want to have this not be dim anymore, but be match and dim, so that this is doing its own, setting it to match, so that something that isn't matchable will never be set to matched. I might regret this. I might regret this. We'll find out, because this is gonna affect things in the grid script now. So let's look for destroy match. So I think I have a match in dim, don't I? I do. Item match equals true. So I could just do item.match in dim. And then get rid of this. Cater says, I will have to go pending from school, but I'll be back soon. Luck. Sorry if I write in Spanish. That's okay, man. Have a good day at school. My ominous sounding background music says this is a bad idea. You're probably right. Serial Chiller Anthro's right. This uses GD script as its main language. It's a Python variant, kind of. It's very similar to Python 3, but there's some things it does differently. Like arrays are way different. But in general, I found that if you do your best Pythonic guess, you can usually find your way around. Okay, so we've got match and dim, which sets match to be true, and then why am I doing this here? Okay, I'm gonna change this. I know I shouldn't, but I can't just look at bad code that I did when I wasn't super versed in Godot. So I'm gonna do onReady var. This get node, this is left over from like Godot 2.1. And there I can just get rid of that. Anthro, what's your question mark for? So, and then this could just be sprite. Currently I'm in the parent script. I am changing things with abandon, or abandon. Yeah, Serial Chiller says, I recently learned C# and I can understand your code. Once you understand like one programming language, you can usually feel your way around another one. So it's really not that bad. Do I want to go full object-oriented? Okay, so I'm just gonna, I might as well. I'm just gonna fix everything when I come to it. So one of the things that I have a tendency to do when I'm working on prototyping something is I make functions that work, but I don't put any thought into how I can make the functions simpler. Hashtag Palpatine dold. Okay. I don't put any thought into how I can make the function simpler. So I'm manipulating the texture and the modulate here 1, 2, 3, 4 different times, which doesn't make any sense to be manipulating the same thing 4 different times when I can just make a function that will do both, and then I can just call that function once. So this is going to be function change texture and modulate, and it's going to take in a new texture and a new color, and then I'll just do sprites at texture equals new texture, sprite.modulate equals new color. Now I can just call that one line, change texture and modulate, and column texture color 1, 1. And then that gets rid of 2 lines of code, and that makes it more readable. Oh, Palpatine, do it. Okay. It's Nike's slogan, okay. Serial Chiller says, what do you think about learning programming by reading books about them? Sorry, it's not related to what you're doing right now. It's fine, man. Feel free to ask any question you want. I have a tendency to be a little ADD, so feel free to ask whatever question you want. If you can do that, like if that's something that you yourself can, it's a learning strategy that you know that you have, there's nothing wrong with it at all. That's how I taught myself programming, is through books. 1 year, we didn't have I realized we didn't have a programming class in my school. I asked my principal if I could teach it, and over the summer I checked out a programming with Java textbook and used that to make my lesson plans. And it was the first time I'd programmed since I was 19, when I had programmed with Visual Basic 1.5 million years ago. Why is this so far over? It's just weird. I'm gonna leave that though. Alright, so Anthro says some textbooks are better for A-type learners and some are better for B-type learners. I need books with lots of pictures. Yeah, there's a company called No Starch Press that makes some really, really good programming textbooks, because they focus on a project-based approach, which I found to be really, really good. Okay, so we finish with the piece here. Now, if we go to the licorice swirl, I want to give this a health. And we'll default the health to 1. I'm using typed GDScript, which I shouldn't do midway through a project, but I'm just used to doing it now. Let's take, let's just make a few functions that we might not use, but that we could possibly see ourselves using in the future. So the first one is going to be image minus equals damage amount. If health less than or equal to 0, then print do stuff. And that print do stuff is just there for now. Call this function heal in case we want our obstacles to heal themselves. If health is greater than or equal to, it's greater than. Okay, so let's make a like a default health. And then in ready, this one isn't going to be an export though. Okay, cool. I'll explain what I'm doing here in just a second. I just want to finish my thought really, really fast. So this should be current health, and then this should be current health and current health. And then to not confuse ourselves, we'll call this max health. Okay. Sorry, so do another stuff. Yep. So this should be max health. My mustache is too long, and it keeps, oh, this shouldn't be plus equals damage amount, this should be plus equals heal amount. Alright, so let's, do we want to make a special effect? Let's at least make it so that we can have one. Make a function destroy, and then let's also make a function to do total damage, just in case we want to have a special that does damage to it no matter what. So we'll call this function total damage. And then for this one, current health equals 0, destroy, and then this, instead of print do stuff, is going to be destroy. Beard length is related to wisdom stat. Maybe. I've had a beard for like 15 years, and a few years ago we did a fundraiser at my school, and one of the prizes was me shaving off my beard, and I got like $200 from the students, so I shaved it off, and holy cow, do I not look good without a beard. You could argue I don't look good with one, but holy cow, it was not good. Alright, so for destroy, I'm going to do some comments here. We're going to say, put in a destroy effect. And then, right, take my money. Reparent the destroy effect to the main scene so that it'll exist when this goes away. And then self dot queue free. So we can have a destroy effect up here. It can be a particle system. It can be an animation. Any of that's fine. All right. So now this is the licorice swirl. So did I not save? Oh, I saved. I made it unique too soon. Alright, so I'm going to clear this out. I'm going to destroy or delete my licorice. No, I can't because I did all that work to it. Okay, I'm going to save it. See, I made it unique before. Wait, no. I'm good. I should be good. Did I just not save this? Okay, let's load that script back up here. Wait. Okay, so it's got max health. Oh, I didn't make it an export, that's why. You guys are probably... Head desk copy. That's why I ask. No, it's fine. It's all fine. Here's the issue. This should be an export. So I'm just gonna cut that, paste it up here, and make it an export var is matchable. That defaults to be true. Oh, I really want to fix these and make them typed as well, but I'm going to leave them for now. Alright. So there we go. Now, that's what I was looking for. So this one is not matchable. So this color thing here is an issue. Serial Chiller asks what's the game about. This is a match 3 game that I've been making tutorials on for far too long. There's like 70 parts to it. It's too long of a tutorial. Okay, cool. So, match and dim. Did I not call it match and dim? I called it match dim. Alright, so back here. Alright. Okay, cool. Nothing's broken yet. This is a good sign. Alright. This is a good time. Good times. Alright, so... Okay, cool. Alright, cool. So, I didn't break anything yet. Let's go back to our licorice swirl. This is not matchable, and I put down the color as being swirl. So now, I don't want to have any of these textures, because I don't want it to be able to have those. Instead, I just want to change the texture on the sprite. And what I did last time, what I did on Moon Day, was I just took the already existing concrete texture and then just applied a filter over it to make it look different. So modulate and go like that, like a navy blue thing. Okay, now the actual logic behind this. So if we go into the grid, I'm going to have to trace this because this is a mess. Alright. So we got match and dim. I think I need to start with the swapping pieces. So, okay. So, anthro. Do these start in predefined spaces, or do they spawn at the top of the board like sinkers? Because that's going to matter. So do I need to spawn them in before I spawn any pieces, like I do with the ice, the locks, the concrete, and the slime, or do they get added to the board dynamically? Okay, fair enough. Well, especially since you want to have like an option for them not to move down. Oh yeah, that's another thing you wanted. So let's put that in right now. So you wanted an option for them not to fall, right, Anthro? Fair enough. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as something that can fall. And then we can go from there. Alright. So... Okay, did I do a different script for each of these? I did. Why? Why did I do that? Yeah, why did I do that? Oh, I see what you mean, Anthro. Yeah, learning through repetition. That's a good enough reason. Okay, I'm going to just in a game window, I'm going to add a new node 2D. I'm going to put this underneath this slime. Let's call this swirl holder. And this is going to get a new script. I'm just going to go with what I did, even though this is not the best. This is going to go into scripts. There, create. And then I'm going to grab the ice holder. And I just want to grab all of these. I even have the board values in here. That's weird. I thought I would know better. Christian says hi. Just dropping by to say hi, and that I'm a big fan. Thank you for all you do. Well, thanks very much, man. Glad you stopped by to say hi. Alright, so this is going to be the licorice swirl scene. Did I call it? Yeah, I called it licorice swirl. There it is. Copy the path. Paste. The signal, we'll just call it damage piece. So Anthro, I want to do that. I am afraid I will have a mutiny if I do that. I honestly want to go back and just start it again. Because I could do this in fewer parts. I 100% could. Because I honestly, this was like the second project I ever made with Godot. I could do this easier. I want to do that, but I am afraid I will have a ridiculous... Like, if I went back and redid the Zelda series from the beginning like I want to, I'd have a huge mutiny. Anyway, so back here. Why did I leave that there? Okay. So, make 2D array. Why did I leave this here? Okay, so on grid make ice. Doodle, you're probably not wrong. I'd like to believe that you are, but you're probably not. So let's damage piece is the signal now. And then I want to call this... Well, but... So I don't need to do this, I just need to make the pieces. And then I don't need to worry about having this do damage to them, since they're going to move. So I don't need to have this damage one, I just need to make them. So then this is going to be swirl pieces. Doodle stories, I didn't take it in a bad way. You're fine. Serial Chiller, have a great night. Be safe. Christian says, perhaps you can make a video about how I do things now and then leave it as homework. I would love to do that. That's totally... I already have more ideas for videos than I have time. Thank you very much, Serial Chiller. You keep up your awesomeness as well. Okay, so... So these So now the goals. So this emits a signal to damage the piece, and it also sends out a value, but these don't need to be in here anymore. And that signal can just go from the grid. The grid can do that, since the grid is what's going to be doing damage. Or should the piece itself emit the signal? And then we can connect the signal when we not 100% sure on this one. This is a nicer script though. And this isn't going to be, oh, this shouldn't be ice, this should be swirl. And then we'll call this swirl by instance. So, alright, now, if I'm going to keep in the way I was doing it, I'm going to need to have a signal to create the swirls. So we'll do signal makes swirl. We'll emit that signal. See, some of this I did just fine. I want to do that. There we go. So spawn sinkers, spawn preset PCs. So I'm going to copy this. And then we're going to do make swirl. And then this needs to have swirl spaces. And then this should be spawn swirl. Okay, so now I need to make that signal and make that array. So and then I need the signal for it as well. Hi, girl. I know. Am I missing the signal for that? I know, Yoda. Oh no, I already did it, okay. Okay, cool. So make swirl, swirl spaces I. This should be swirl. And this should be swirl. Okay. Now, if I go back out into my grid, I should have a vector2 array. I'm going to empty the lock spaces here, and I just want to make 4 swirl spaces. I'm going to start out with them at the top. Hey, you know you're not supposed to do that. Let's do 0, 9, 1, 9, 0, 8, and 1, 8. Anthropomorph. It's some internal thing with cats. Mine kept walking in front of the screen until I came out of the kitchen. The cookie no longer fit for the... Yeah, they need to be between us and anything we look at. Red, Yellow, Pink, Blue says, hi, Mr. Taff Greets. Thanks for making this series. It's been really handy to learn Godot. We'll be updating your Git with these changes. Probably, yes. This is kind of like a rough version of any changes I would make in like an actual tutorial video. I don't know if I'd actually do a video on this. This was a special request from a few of the Discord members that were so awesome, and I wanted to make sure that they knew that I appreciate their awesomeness. So, but yeah, sure, I'll add this to the Git. Okay, so now my swirl holder needs to know what the swirl is, which it does. Okay. Didn't get a swirl. Alright. Because I wasn't emitting the signal. Make swirl. Connect. Swirl holder. Okay. Still not there. Oh, it's because I didn't have the grid. Okay, I know what the issue is. So I want to... So when we're making the pieces, I think I have restricted fill? Yes. So if is in array swirl spaces place return true. Oh, thank you, Anthro. Sliman? Don't know if I said that correctly. Correct me if I'm wrong. Says, hey, I love your work. Keep it up. Thank you very much. Swirl spaces. Place. Alright, so... Okay, that's a good sign. And then swirl holder isn't... Head child current opposition equals... If swirl pieces dot size is greater than 0, swirl pieces equals blah. Am I not generating it correctly? I'm not generating it correctly, am I? So spawn pieces, spawn slime, spawn swirl. So if swirl spaces is not null for I and swirl spaces dot size emit signal, make swirl spaces I. And I connected that signal. So then if I go back to my swirl holder, on grid, oh, okay, that's why. Okay, and let's try that now. Nope, still no. Merp. 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 Nope, still no. What am I doing wrong here? Let's just disconnect this and then reconnect it and make the function. Okay, cool. It's connected. We did set the sprite, Alexi. Red, yellow, pink, blue says, thanks, would be great to see with these streams how you are improving this. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. Anthro says, something goes through Game Manager instead of the grid now. Oh, that's right. Thank you. Okay, something goes through Game Manager instead of the grid now. That's what I get for not doing anything with this in like a million years. Okay, so let's... It's not that, though. The grid was still making the pieces. So... Am I calling the function? Yeah, that's why. I'm not calling the function. There we go. Alright, now... Okay, so they're acting as if they're restricted fill when they shouldn't. So what should happen is I need these not to be in the restricted fill is the thing. So I'm going to take them out of the restricted fill, and I want them to be part of the board. So to be part of the board, when I spawn them, I want to do all pieces slime spaces I.x slime spaces I.y equals what? So I need for it to know what that piece is. So I'm going to make a new function here to set a piece to be an object. Oh, sorry, I didn't look. Solomon Khan says, great tutorial, thanks for your hard work. Thank you very much for watching. And throw copy and paste synchro code. We could do that, but then we're not having them be at preset places. So the thing that Casey had brought up was that he wanted them to be at preset places like the concrete are, but then move once they're in the grid. The sinkers don't always start at preset places. They start randomly at the top, which is different. So I'm just thinking for a second here. I could make a function that goes, or a signal that goes from the swirl holder back to the grid and tells the grid to fill this spot with this item. So I'm going to do that. So in the swirl holder, I'm going to make a new signal. We'll call it set board space. And then when we make a piece, because this doesn't need to keep track of the swirl pieces, so we can get rid of that. And instead, set board space, and then send the board position vector back. Oh, Anthro, I forgot I did that. You're right, I did do that. You're right. Okay, so I might not need this signal at all. So what we can do then is in the grid, the preset spaces, are those set in the game manager? No, they must be set in the grid. Empty ice lock, concrete, swirl, preset. Hey, look at that. So how was I doing these though? So we've got the possible, okay. So let's go back to the grid here for a second. Let's look at the preset pieces, which I think I called spawn preset or something like that. var piece equals possible pieces. Okay. Okay. No. I know how to do this. We don't need that other thing at all. Sometimes it takes me a minute to figure out the best way to do something. So I want to do this if swirl spaces, and then this needs to be swirl spaces, and this needs to be swirl spaces, and I'm going to call this temp, and this is going to be an instance of load. No. I want it to be the path of the licorice swirl. And then this should temp, and then temp dot position, and then this is swirl spaces, and then this is swirl spaces, and this is swirl spaces as well, and this is also swirl spaces. And it's not equal to piece, it's equal to temp. And let's get rid of these semicolons. Alright, good. Better. Okay. So now... Okay. Awesome. Instance and base string. Wait, what? Oh, that's what I did. Okay. And then my swirl spaces, this is still going to be 4. And then we'll do 0, 9, 1, 9, 0, 8, 1, 8. Okay. Okay, cool. There they are. Cool. Alright, so they're moving around like I want them to. Es bueno. Okay, I can swap them with another piece. Es bueno. What was that? What just happened there? Is it the restricted fill? I thought I removed them from restricted fill. Restricted move. Restricted fill. No, they're not restricted fill. So we've got spawn swirl. Is it because I'm spawning the swirl last? It is. I need to make sure I do this before I spawn the pieces. Alright, let's try this again now. Okay. Now let's make sure they don't freak out if I put 3 of them in a row. Because I'm pretty sure they will. So let's do 5, and then the next one is going to be at 2, 9. So I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is when I make this match, yeah, see, yeah. So now I need to, when we're checking for matches, I need to make sure that I'm skipping over the ones that aren't matchable. So, did I call it find matches? Find all matches. So if match.color is not equal to nothing, okay, so hint holder, oh no, not find all matches, I want to find matches, that's what I want. Current color, so if array ij is not equal to null, and array ij dot, did I call it can match? So what did I call it in the piece? Is matchable. Okay. And I don't need to check to see if it's true, I can just leave it. Okay, anthro. If color is not equal to unmatchable, then do your thing. Yeah, no, I think you're right. But I think I only have to do that here. Okay. So let's test this again. Alright, so it didn't try to destroy those, and it didn't freak out either. And can I get rid of just this row? Okay, so it's acting mostly like I want to. Now, then it can match anything that isn't called. Are you saying I did this wrong, Anthro? It's fine if you are, I'm just don't quite understand what your last comment means. Okay, I'm gonna look at the damage now. So they're working mostly how we want them to, but oh, I see, Anthro. The problem with doing it that way, though. Oh, yeah, that would probably work, Anthro. Demol, I have no idea how to say that, I'm sorry, says, thank you for all the awesome videos, they help me a lot with my own game, I'm glad to help. No, Anthro, I see what you're saying, and that, yeah, that would be better. Yeah, you're not wrong. So what I want to do here is I'm going to use the check concrete or check slime for this. So I'm just going to copy the check concrete and put it down here. This is going to be called check swirls. And then we'll call that as part of this too. And then instead of emitting the signal, we want to check to see if it's unmatchable. And if it's unmatchable, we want to damage its health. So if all pieces column +1 row dot, so we'll say not is matchable, then all pieces, column plus 1 row, take damage 1. So now if I look at the, no, it's just damage. I see what you're saying, Anthro. I don't want you to think I'm like ignoring what you suggested. I want to check to see if this works, and then we can go back and fix it. Because what you're suggesting is probably the better way to do it. So I want this. So this is left. So this is minus, minus. This is up. And then this is down. So this is going to cause an issue with... No, it won't, because I fixed that. Nice. I thought this was going to cause an issue with the bombs, but it won't. The bombs just won't do any damage right away. Okay. Alright, so... if not all pieces... Okay, so if not all pieces, column row minus 1 dot is matchable. Okay, so red, yellow, pink, blue says, if you use the name though, wouldn't that make the code messier if you try to extend it? I.e. the unmatchable color would have to be repeated for future obstacles like this. Maybe currently I already addressed the color thing with the sinkers though, and I just put the color in as none. So I don't necessarily think that her suggestion is worse. And this is one of those things where like the idea that I come up with when I come up with the idea isn't always the best, and sometimes I have to let my ideas cook for a little bit before I think of a better way to do it. Right now though, so 0, 7, 0, 7 is right here. So that means it's looking down. Do I have to? I don't think I have to directly set this to be equal to false. No, it's not what I meant. Okay, so 1, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one. It's trying to check beneath it. So let me just add another check here then, and all pieces not equal to null. So I'm going to get rid of the false because I'm sure I don't need to have that. The issue is that I think it wasn't finding anything in the array, which is weird. So we're going to say not. And then I just want to grab this portion right here. paste it there. This one should be row +1. And then also paste it here. This one should be row and then column -1. And then paste it here. And then this one should be row and column +1. Alright, so let's test this out now. Alright, so the issue that it's having right now is with 1, 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's checking, and the issue is, yeah. So, okay, I'm going to split this into 2 separate if statements. So we're going to do we're going to check to make sure that it's not null, and then we're also going to say if that is matchable. And then just bring this over. So, okay. Because then the problem is that what's happening right now is it's checking the first condition before it checks the second condition. And the first condition doesn't exist, so it's never reaching the second condition. So let's just grab all of these. And let's grab this. And then pull these over too. And grab this. I haven't looked at chat in a minute. I'll do that in just a second. And then bring these over. And colon. Okay. So let's test this out. And then I'm probably going to be done for now. Okay, that's a good sign. Maybe what I can do instead of self.queueFree is I can set matched to be true. Because I already have that in place. Let's try that. I have no idea what's going on there. Okay. Doodle Story has asked, how do I normally go about starting a project? I break down what I want into pieces like this. I think about what I'm going to need, what I want to add, and then I try to figure out how to do each piece, and then go from there. Okay, we're not quite there. We're almost there. But I need to think about this, and I also need to go do some laundry. So that's going to be it for tonight. I'm going to continue with this some more later in the week, probably on like Friday maybe. I have a Zelda video coming out later today or tomorrow. Cecil, yes, I have looked at your project, and I've started going through it. I have not finished going through it yet. I will let you know when I do. Okay. Any last questions here? Enjoy your cooking, Anthro. Casey, it's fine. I just need to go do stuff, but I'll come back and work on it. It's just, yeah, you're fine. It's almost there. It just needs a little more work. Thank you, Doodle Stories. Enjoy your evening as well. All right, well, thanks very much, people. I hope you guys have a great evening. I will archive the stream, and yeah, I might be streaming tomorrow. I'll definitely be streaming on Friday, so I hope everybody has a good night. Alicia, you're welcome. Thanks for joining. Thank you very much, Red, Yellow, Pink, Blue. Yep, have a good night, guys.